Hello and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. Today is Thursday, February 2nd. I'm Cara Falco.
Can't believe it. And I'm Kristina Behr. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We are in February. Where did January go?
January is normally the month that lasts 1,000 years, and
yes.
it flew. And I'm a little concerned for the rest of the year.
The rest of the winter, at least. You know, the groundhog, by the way, Punxsutawney Phil, he saw his shadow this morning, but Staten Island Chuck didn't. So I'm with Staten Island Chuck. Let's get it started. Heading over to meteorologist Mike Favetta for the forecast. Feeling like Punxsutawney Phil might be right, though, with the weather.
Well, you know, with all of the mild weather we've had the last few weeks, there's a little chill coming our way. Yep. Are you ready for the cold?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm good. I'm okay.
But the best part is it's a very short and brief chill, even though it will be quite severe heading into tomorrow as well as the first part of the weekend. There's an extra chill around right now across New Jersey. Up in Sussex County, a temperature of 19 degrees. That's actual air temperature, not even factoring a wind chill. 27 your air temperature there over in West Orange, 34 down toward Newark, and even the 30s out on the Barrier Islands there in Seaside. Back over along the Turnpike, how about 21 degrees over in Trenton? So plenty of cold weather that's around this morning to make it feel like February is around, and it's going to remain quite chilly as we head through this afternoon. With the high today forecast to climb back into the low 40s, there's plenty of cold air around, and by this afternoon it will feel like it's right around the freezing mark because temperatures keep sliding into the 20s later on tonight, and we've got a really cold round of air ahead for tomorrow. Wind chills below the freezing mark and could even be below zero at times. We'll tell you more about that coming up with a complete look of your New Jersey forecast. That's in just a few minutes.
It was bound to happen sooner or later, Mike. Thanks so much.
It's been too much. Like all the trees are blooming. My allergies are bothering me.
I can't. Flowers are blooming.
It's January. I'm not.
It's odd.
It's off.
It's time.
Off. Yeah. What it's good news for is the commute. And Don Smith here is has a look with that.
Yeah, thank you, Cara. Good morning. Good morning, Kristina. Good morning, Mike. Let's get you over to the incident page here this morning. And when is it not busy here in New Jersey, right? And it continues to give us the hits here. Unfortunately, we still have 130, and we'll show you that in a map in a moment, just north of 38 in Pennsauken. The lane is down there where the traffic signal being repaired, so that's a bit backed up. Also, this turnpike outer roadway southbound has been out there for a little while. I have a feeling that may be gone now. We're looking at over an hour with that. And Route 40, way down in Carneys Point Township, down just east of the Delaware Memorial Bridge. They're still saying that there's an investigation still taking place. Now, when we go to the maps, we'll start it off here first with the situation just north here along 130, just as you come in towards Marlton Pike. That's where that traffic light is out of service, but really not seeing that much of a delay through the traffic circle. So that is some good news there for our friends in Pennsauken this morning. Ben Franklin on over to Philadelphia. That's still going to be a heavy ride, but 73, 70, 41, 30, 42, 55, a little busy at the 42 interchange, but really that's about it. Let me bring you down to where that closer, as the DOT is still telling us. I get a feeling they may not have had contact there with the scene in a little while. But this is just as you go east along 40 here into 48, just east of the Turnpike in a Pointers Auburn Road. That is where this is going to be shut here with this investigation. Hopefully everyone's okay, but that is still an ongoing deal. 55 in Violin, Cumberland, 40 AC Expressway, South Jersey. Again, we're really, really quiet here this morning, getting all the way up in towards Long Beach Island with these little bit of a frosty temperature. So you may have a little potential frost on your vehicle. 72, Thomas River 37, all good. But Route 9 still seeing the normal delays throughout Lakewood. Let's go to transit this morning. Still, it's been really quiet all morning long. River Line, it was just a one canceled train early and still about 20 minutes on one train coming out of Penn Station in the city on the Northeast Corridor. So watch for that. Also, just be prepared for potential delays on Newark World Trade with the mandatory Hackensack River test lifting there beginning at 10 o'clock and then again from 1 to 2. And that's what's happening here in the traffic center. Our next report, we'll take a look at Central Jersey coming up next. Cara, Kristina, we'll send it back to you.
Don, thanks so much. All right, guys, getting to our headlines this morning. President Biden was joined in New York this week by Governor Phil Murphy to announce a major transportation project for the region. A $292 million federal grant will assist with the early construction of the new Gateway Tunnel project. The president made the announcement while speaking at an underground rail yard in New York City.
It is incredible to be back with the president And I want to thank him for his continued commitment to what is unequivocally the most important infrastructure project in our country, the Gateway program.
All told, this is one of the biggest and most consequential projects in the country. But it's going to take time. It's a multi-billion-dollar effort between the states and the federal government. But we finally have the money, and we're going to get it done. I promise you, we're going to get it done.
The grant is funded by the bipartisan infrastructure bill that became law last year. When completed, the project will double the number of rail tunnels under the Hudson River. It's expected to make the Northeast Corridor more reliable, which is notoriously unreliable.
Yes.
At the moment.
Long time coming.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
I mean, but that was the whole point of his trip, right? To come to New York City to tout the money that's coming for this project that's been years in the making now. It started with Christie when he was in office.
Yeah.
And, it's been just, a stalemate in politics because who's going to pay for this, right? So finally, they're saying, here's the money, get it done.
Get it done.
Start the construction now.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting, and hopefully, it'll ease some of the pain on the transit system.
Yeah, because it's just, it's brutal sometimes.
Yeah.
One thing shuts down and the whole system just
fails.
collapses.
Yeah. So that's good news there. Some interesting news here. The suspect who allegedly threw a Molotov cocktail at a synagogue in Bloomfield last week is now in custody. Bloomfield Mayor Michael Venezia wrote on Facebook that he is now in the custody of Bloomfield police and also the FBI. Now, according to a press release, the suspect was disguised in a ski mask and allegedly threw a bottle at the front door of the Temple Ner Tamid. Police say the attack did not cause any injuries or damage to the building. And, the temple is going to be holding an interfaith rally against hate tonight at 6:30 in response to these events that happened over the past week. And joining us now to talk about this is Rabbi Mark Katz. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and talking about this situation.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So, Rabbi, the temple was, again, recently the victim of an attempted attack. Can you talk a little bit about how you and your community have responded?
We've come together. We had a healing service and a forum to talk about security on Monday, which was really healing for people. They were able to express how they were feeling, both in prayer and in word. But I would say the thing that's been the most healing for us has been having so many partners reach out. And it's made us realize that the struggles that we are undergoing, anti-Semitism, is just one of many struggles that people in our community are dealing with. And so when we had this happen to us, we realized that we could become a meeting point for so many people to gather around and for us to unite our voices, to amplify them so that we were speaking out together against the various hatreds that exist in our world.
You've decided to put this rally together. And what was the response when you decided to do this?
People have poured their hearts out to us. In fact, actually, we're a little worried that we won't be able to even fit everybody in the building, and we're figuring out how to pipe sound to the outside. We have overflow rooms in the synagogue ready to go. We think that there are going to be a number of people who show up because this really hits close to home. Many groups, from LGBTQ to the African-American community to the AAPI, the Asian American Pacific Islander community, have all dealt in their own ways over the course of the various months with different struggles of their own. And so to be able to come together, to unite, I think makes a significant difference. And so we are feeling their love, and we want to show them our love as well.
Rabbi, I think that's just so beautiful. So with all of these people anticipated to come together, what do you want the message to be tonight at the rally?
I think the most important thing that we can do now is not lose hope. And every incident, every horrible thing that happens, especially to the Jewish community, because it feels like so many right now, makes people potentially lose hope. But hope is the avenue, it's the engine that we need to make this world better. And so I hope that people get this kind of dose of hope over the course of tonight and can leave energized to add their voice into building a better world.
What are the thoughts and feelings now from the community that this guy has been caught and now he's in FBI custody?
I mean, definitely is one of relief. As long as he was at large, it meant that the threat, which was acute, was at large as well. Now, it doesn't mean that there's still a kind of underlying threat that every Jewish community has faced across the country. I mean, we have guards at our synagogue when we're open. We've had to harden our building, and we're not alone. Most synagogues have had to do that. But the fact that he has been caught means that at least this crisis we can begin to put behind us as we move forward.
And a little bit of accountability for sure.
Absolutely. Rabbi, once more, where can folks go tonight to get information about the rally? Do they need to sign up?
You don't need to sign up, but you can go to our Facebook page, Temple Ner Tamid, and you can find, there's a Facebook event where you can find more information about it. And we hope to see you there.
Amazing. Rabbi, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us this morning, and good luck with the rally tonight.
Yes.
We wish you guys a lot of peace.
Thank you very much.
This is just a hard one to you know, and it's so, I mean, for me, it's quite literally close to home. I drove past it the other day, and all the cops were there, all the news channels were there. I mean, it's hard to see.
You just wonder, like, watching the video that police released when they were still searching for this person, you know, you just wonder why,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It's, and really just what was it like? The dislike of a group is one thing, but the motivation to act on it is a whole other thing. And it's just mind blowing because like the FBI has you now. Like, I don't know. I mean, he used to say it as a joke, but my dad always, if you're going to do something bad, you better make sure it's worth your while.
Right. I mean, it's just, but it does speak to a bigger issue that's been, you know, going on across the nation, as he mentioned. So,
or really across the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear about it all the time, but I'm glad this guy got caught. The rally sounds like it's, and I'm really happy to see all of those communities come together to support one another.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
That's how you flip the script.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Last few headlines. New Jersey recently passed an anti-conceal carry law that's temporarily been lifted by a federal judge. That's because portions of the law were deemed unconstitutional, including provisions that banned guns in public parks, beaches, and casinos. So see what comes up with that one next.
Yeah, I mean, we have some of the tightest laws here in New Jersey when it comes to guns, so it'll be interesting to see how they move forward from there. Coming up next, why several mayors are calling for a moratorium on offshore wind power along the Jersey Shore.
Plus, NJ Digest has a new list of the state's best 25 restaurants, how they rank them, where to find them. That's coming up next as well.
That's a hard tally right there. You can always find us over on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and click follow.
Right now, families all across New Jersey are struggling with hunger, and their financial futures remain uncertain. You can be the hope for our hungry neighbors in need in a time when that need is still so great. The Community Food Bank of New Jersey, the state's largest anti-hunger, anti-poverty organization, is filling the emptiness caused by hunger with food, help, and hope. Go to cfbnj.org now to join us.
The New Jersey Hall of Fame is coming to you, celebrating our best and brightest, greeting guests along our Garden State Parkway through its 9 service areas, engaging travelers from our terminals to our transit centers, inspiring new generations as we move from town to town, and at New Jersey's hottest red carpet ceremony, inspiring New Jerseyans at our new home at American Dream. It's the New Jersey Hall of Fame, and it's where you want to be because everyone needs a hero.
Hey, you know what? We have some exciting news for you all. Starting this Saturday, you can watch the New Jersey Morning Show on News 12 Plus. Yeah, you can watch the show every Saturday now at 9 a.m. on News 12 Plus. And don't forget, you can watch us anytime on streaming on your favorite channels, on newjersey.com, on nj.com. That is what it is. And again, another outlet here, News 12 Plus, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m.
Absolutely. Good stuff. And it's News 12 Plus.
Yes, the plus.
The plus part. That's the part that people tend to forget.
Yes. Very exciting, though.
Yeah, we're excited. We're everywhere at this point. Let's bring in meteorologist Mike Favetta. He's got another look at the forecast. The forecast is also everywhere.
It is. The forecast is a bit extra, you know, kind of like us being on News 12 Plus. We're extra.
Yes, the plus. The plus.
on a chilly morning, I don't think you'll be leaving the house Sunday, considering the wind chill. It'll be sunny outside, but you'll also have 30-mile-an-hour winds, with wind chills making it feel like it's below zero. At times, could be as cold as 20 below zero. That's why the Weather Service has Sussex County and western Passaic County here. It has a wind chill advisory, and that's because from late Friday night into early Saturday morning, it will feel like it is 10 to 20 below zero. So some really big wind chills there. We usually don't see that wind chill advisory unless there's some significant danger. And, well, up in northern New Jersey, that's the case. Late tomorrow night into early Saturday. It doesn't warm up until Sunday. So it's a brief round of cold. Enjoy the sun today, even though temperatures will feel like they're in the 30s. Actual numbers rise to 41 degrees in Newark, 40. Over in Seabright and down toward Atlantic City, 40 degrees for you. So we'll enjoy plenty of sun today as the cold weather comes on in later on tonight and makes it feel oh so chilly. Now, tomorrow, the temperature of 32 degrees actually happens at 12:01 a.m. That's later tonight into early tomorrow morning. Notice the arrow pointing down. That's because temperatures were in free fall throughout the entire day. So by the afternoon, it'll feel like it's in the teens and single digits, and then it actually gets into the single digits by tomorrow night, holding in the 20s all day Saturday. But the wind chills, again, feel like they're around zero statewide on Saturday with those gusts. Sunday warms up a bit, but at least it's a dry weekend, right? We'll enjoy the clear weather throughout the end of the weekend, and then next week has a little bit of a milder trend. So starting off February on a very cold note, and then it's right back to the regularly scheduled mild weather. We'll let you know how long that lasts coming up with a check of your 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
Wow. Regularly scheduled programming, aka weather.
Weather, yeah, exactly. Just for a minute.
Just for a minute, hot minute.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
Don Smith is in the traffic center for an update on that commute. Not too bad this morning, Don.
Yeah, it really is. And Kristina, good morning to you. Good morning, Cara. Good morning, Mike. And it's kind of our regularly scheduled issues here along Route 18 getting into 27. As of recently, has only been over the last week or so. Let's go to the maps. You're traveling into Rutgers here out of the New Brunswick area, Highland Park. Be really careful along Route 18. We are just bumper to bumper traffic with this construction just north of Route 27. We'll be out there till approximately about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Let me show you the camera and you can just see these vehicles just sitting there. I mean, they're just going nowhere. Heading north here along Route 18. So definitely plan your travels accordingly. If you have to head this way and need to use Route 18, give yourself probably a good extra 20 or 25 minutes just to be on the safe side. We widen up Central Jersey now. Turnpike is actually in pretty good shape. So is the Parkway across the Driscoll Bridge, 206 in Hillsborough, 202 in Flemington, East Amwell, down on over towards New Hope. 29 along the Delaware River is good. Route 12. Route 12 is one of those roads that I think people just kind of forget that it's actually there, but just putting it in because now we're on News 12 Plus. Again, it's the plus. Out towards Frenchtown coming west of the Flemington area, but it's a pretty heavily traveled roadway there in that section of Hunterdon County. 7822 Bridgewater, things are fine getting up towards Chester, 206, 80, 46, 206, and 15. Again, traffic really is in pretty good shape. Let's do this now. Let's go to our Hudson River crossings. Let me give you the freshest numbers because we didn't do that in our first report. But the George Washington Bridge is still fairly tied up, about 45 on average there, about 10 to 15 at the Lincoln. Same thing with the Holland Tunnel. And New Jersey Transit, we're only dealing with maybe about 15 minutes from that one earlier train about an hour and a half ago coming out of Penn Station. Just the alert on path once again. Starting at 10 o'clock, the mandatory Hackensack River bridge lifting will be taking place, could affect northward trade. And then again, earlier in the afternoon from 1 to 2. This happened here in the traffic center. On our next report, we'll take a look at North Jersey and see what's going on up towards Bergen and Passaic counties. Cara, Kristina, back to you.
All right, looking good, Don. Thanks so much.
Nice ride this morning.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it wasn't terrible.
Well, a dozen mayors from towns along the Jersey Shore have signed a letter asking for a moratorium on the offshore wind development after an 8th whale died off the coast this week. Preliminary findings from NOAA experts indicate that the latest whale was likely killed after getting hit by a ship. Officials have not been able to definitively prove that offshore wind development is behind the recent uptick in whale deaths. And this is just so sad for everybody
Yeah.
to see. I mean, it was so, one of the nice things from the pandemic was really seeing that wildlife,
Right.
especially off the coast of the Jersey Shore, come back, really flourish.
Right.
And so to start seeing them wash up like this is really heartbreaking.
But it's also, I mean, the environmental groups are saying, let's slow our roll for a second. It's not necessarily the offshore wind
Right.
issues. We do have the busiest port now. It was just named the busiest port in the country here. So
Yes.
you've got ships coming in and out. And
Yes,
so a
from
lot of
all
these
over the world.
whales have been, they've already, proven like, this whale was hit by a boat or whatever. And so they're just kind of saying, okay, let's just pump the brakes for a second. It's not necessarily offshore, and that would be a huge detriment to the environmental impact that they've made so far,
Right.
with getting this offshore wind. Now, is there more of an investigation needed? For sure,
Of course.
and it is alarming to see 8 whales now,
Right, yeah.
washing up on shores, not just in New Jersey, but Long Island, and so it is really sad, and
Yeah.
it's alarming to see for folks who live by the
live near.
coast.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like you said, I mean, I just think, they have to investigate because there is so many factors.
Yeah.
We did get more wildlife and now things are returning to normal. So we do have more ships. Shipping is
Right.
coming back in.
Yeah.
There's, so you can't pin it on the one thing.
Right. And it's, offshore wind is going to be huge in terms of environmental impact and also jobs. And so they're just kind of like, okay, let's not blame it on one thing until we have all the facts.
Just
Yeah.
all the facts
Yeah.
first.
This is a sad one here. Freeway Drive in East Orange has been the site of several deadly accidents over the last 4 years. Roughly 900 accidents have taken place on that roadway. Well, now Assemblywoman Brittany Timberlake is among those calling for action.
We're looking for the support to have that entire corridor redone with common sense safety measures, such as interactive stop and go signs and timing the lights in a better way.
Yeah, factors leading to those high number of accidents include poor traffic light synchronization and limited sidewalk space. Now, Timberlake is calling for local, county, and state officials to coordinate to kind of find a solution that makes Freeway Drive a safer place. And there's a lot of roadways like this in New Jersey, too. So, it's sort of looking at the overhaul of infrastructure.
And I
here.
was just going to say, and it's the infrastructure. We have so many roadways that were never designed for the amount of cars and the amount of people that use them at this point. We're the most densely populated state in the nation. I mean, we just wasn't built to be that way.
So
it needs to be.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So police in Hackettstown are looking for a woman who used allegedly counterfeit money at a local CVS. They say this woman caught on surveillance footage used fake money to pay for $400 worth of American Express gift cards. The incident took place last Thursday. Anyone with information is asked to contact Hackettstown police.
That's an interesting one.
That's an interesting one, especially when they do. I mean, I guess it depends on the size of the bills. I know they have the little markers.
Usually they kind of like, if you're spending that kind of money, sometimes they take a moment to really, I mean, maybe it's just me, maybe I look guilty or something, but like if you're spending a lot of money like
very
that,
suspicious.
I feel like that, I know I'm very suspicious looking. I feel like that they take a minute to like really look at the bills.
Generally, if it's $100 or like a $50 or $100 bill, they at a minimum they use that little marker that like reacts to the ink.
Okay, especially in Costco, they do that for
Yes.
sure. In Costco, they check everything.
Yeah, they check everything.
Yeah. Anyway,
we'll see. All right, guys, I'm really excited about our next guest. 5-year-old Jackson Fuge has suffered from neurofibromatosis since he was 3 years old, facing symptoms like non-cancerous tumors, vision problems, and developmental delays. His grandmother started Patches for Jax to help collect police patches from around the country.
That's amazing. Joining us now to talk about it is his parents, Stacy and Dan Fuge. Also, we see Jax there too. Thanks for you guys. Thanks for coming on, all of you guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Guys, can you tell us a little bit more about Jax's condition first off? What is it? What are some more of the symptoms, and is there any treatment for it?
Absolutely. So Jackson was actually diagnosed. He's actually 7, not 5, but he was diagnosed in February of 2020 through genetic testing. And both of his sisters actually also have this disorder. So this disorder, unfortunately, has now 10 benign tumors between his brain and his spine. The one on his spine has been causing him a lot of issues, where we're back and forth to CHOP very often. He's in constant pain. He's on pain meds every day. he has a lot of, sorry, between the ADHD that, came from this, developmental delays, speech delays, it's just been kind of a whirlwind since then, for something that we never knew about. It's a rare disorder. They call it the rarest disorder that, that is actually the most common. So it's something that, we've dealt with. And unfortunately, my husband also has it. It caused him to have a stroke at the age of 31 years old. So it's just another. Want to talk? You can say hi.
Hi. I know, it's very exciting for him because he's probably like never done this before, right? So
absolutely.
What inspired the creation of Patches for Jax?
So Jackson wants to be. Hold on, baby, 1 second. Oh, he wants to show you.
Yeah.
Jackson wants to be a police officer when he grows up. So when this all started, someone had actually gifted him a cape to wear to his appointments. And he said that he wanted to get a patch from our local police department to be able to put onto his cape because he believes that police officers are the bravest, and having their patch would help him be brave during all of his scary appointments. So we actually reached out to our local police department here in Lacey, and we spoke with the former chief, Mike DeBella, who has been phenomenal with everything with Jax. And he gave him a patch, which kind of started all of this. And then Grandma started the Patches for Jax Facebook page, and it kind of blew up from there. He currently has about 400 patches, and they've been coming in like crazy from all over the world. We have some from Peru and Italy, Alaska, Guam, Mexico.
Okay, bud.
Very cool. We can see some of them.
Yeah,
we can see some of them where they're from. That's amazing. Over 400.
Yeah.
Aw.
Want to show this one? Okay.
Oh yeah, he also has a bunch that we are, and eventually they're filled in the bin. That eventually we're gonna make kind of like a border in his room for them. All the extras.
That's fantastic.
He's very,
what an
very
outpouring
excited.
of love. That's just amazing how this caught on. I mean, worldwide now. Were you surprised when that happened?
Extremely, and especially like this past, actually one of my husband had mentioned about, hey, let's get this out of our police departments. So she kind of brought that upon us. We made the flyer, and now it's been Roger Matthews from, he does a podcast. He was also on Jersey Shore, along with Todd Frazier. He also posted it. So now it's like, it's just so amazing, how much love and support our son has been getting, just so many people reaching out, like, that they want to send, hold on, baby. They want to send out more patches and, be involved in, just making his visits a little bit easier when we have to go.
Hey, Jax, can you tell us about some of your favorite patches and how you feel when you get them?
Okay, why don't you show her the ones on the blanket? Okay.
You're the boss.
All right, which ones are your favorite? This one.
That's amazing. It truly is. I mean,
there's a lot in here. You're gonna take a very long time going through puppies.
Sorry, he's digging through them all.
He's got to dig through them all.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys, how can folks help out?
Absolutely. So you can definitely find us on Facebook at Patches for Jax, JAX. We also have an email. It's patchesforjax@gmail.com. If you're looking to send us or send him a patch or have any questions or, anything else, you can feel free to either message us on Facebook or email. And, we'll definitely get back to everybody. And, we also keep, Jackson's story is also on Patches for Jax. So if you have, to kind of keep up on his medical stuff, to see how he's doing.
That's fantastic. Best of luck to you guys. Jax, we love you. I don't know where you went, but we love you. We're sending you lots of healing and good vibes. There he is.
There he is.
All right.
Bye,
Can you just say,
Bye.
can you just say one thing? Just want to say hi to his class that's watching.
Oh,
Okay, say hi.
hey.
Say hi, Mrs. Hughes' class.
Hi, Mrs. Hughes' class.
Hey, guys. All the love and support.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with
Yay.
us, Jax.
Good luck, guys. Bye. So
What a
cute.
cutie. Oh my gosh, I
But
love
so
that.
much to endure for a family. I mean, her husband dealing with the illness and now her son as well. I
Right.
mean, that's tough to go through and to see people from around the world supporting. I mean, that's huge.
That's adorable. And what a simple thing, right? Just, mail them
Yeah.
a patch.
Who would think that would go such a long way? So
Right.
it's just amazing. So hit them up on socials and see if you can help out too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, up next, what lawmakers in Trenton are doing to crack down on catalytic converter theft.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Plus, how 3 police officers in Secaucus saved a man's life with some quick thinking.
Okay, and don't forget, starting this Saturday, you can watch the New Jersey Morning Show on News 12 Plus. You can watch the show every Saturday, 9 a.m. on News 12 Plus, or streaming right here on NJ.com.
2020 felt like a dark tunnel, and while 2020 is over, the impact is not. The pandemic affected both our physical and mental health.
We started the Cody Fund for Mental Health to change lives, so we want you to know about NJ211.
It's a referral service for anyone in crisis, even children.
I'm living proof that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's not a train, it's help. It's NJ211.
Right now, New Jersey's youth are dealing with a lot. Growing up today, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, but you're not alone. If you're worried about someone, reach out and point them to help if they need it. The New Jersey Department of Children and Families offers support to children and youth in crisis. Help is available by phone or text whenever you need it. Be there for a friend, and know where to turn for help. Suicide should never be the answer. Growing up can be hard. Getting help shouldn't be.
Welcome back. Our own meteorologist, Mike Favetta, is also with us with another look at the forecast. And I was surprised, Mike, when I woke up this morning and it said it was 25 degrees outside. I was like, I'm going to have to wear a few extra layers to take the dog out.
You're going to wear double those amount of layers tomorrow morning.
Oof.
And triple those amount of layers by might just look
everything's
like
like an
Ralphie.
extreme. Why can't it just be like why do we have to dip all the way down to 7? Can't it just be 30?
I think winter's kind of letting you know that it's still in charge.
Yeah. Like
we
a
can
hay.
enjoy these 50s and 60s that we had just days ago.
But I'm coming for you.
It was gorgeous last week.
It was beautiful.
Is it spring?
People were in shorts at Whole Foods.
Yeah,
It was nice.
same. Yeah.
I was one of them. I know. But
You're that
going
guy.
into this weekend, I don't think you'll even see the hardest and the most cold-hardened people in shorts or flip-flops because, yes, it will be incredibly cold, even though there won't be snow on the ground and there'll be plenty of sunshine out and about. The weather and the wind specifically tomorrow will make it very cold. So it is dangerous cold. And the reason we say dangerous is because with all of the very chilly weather that's forecast going into this weekend, the amount of cold that sticks around will make it feel quite uncomfortable, especially as we head into next week. So with Friday night and Saturday morning wind chills down around 0 to 15 below 0, it's going to be incredibly cold and it stays chilly going into the next few days. Then we have the rebound on Sunday, and that I think is the best part of the forecast, how temperatures quickly warm up back into, well, above average territory. It's a very brief and short-lived burst of Arctic air, and it'll be out of here before we know it. So that's some good news to look forward to for the end of the weekend. In fact, beyond that, we will be well above average going into February. So if you think, okay, well, we haven't had much snow, if any, across most of New Jersey so far this year, is February going to come and dump on us? Unlikely. And the reason for that is look at this long-range outlook. We have an 80 to 90% chance of being above average going into the next 10 days. So there's the longer range outlook, even beyond the 7-day, puts us very much above average, and it stays very warm into the next few days and really the next few weeks. So it's going to stay, yes, unseasonably mild, and you might see those folks back in shorts and flip-flops as soon as Monday. And the daffodils and flowers flowers blooming will probably get going again, because the daylight hours are getting longer day by day. You've noticed now at 5 o'clock, it's no longer pitch black, and 5:30, we get these nice late sunsets. The sun is coming up earlier, so that's all helping the cause. We'll likely be in the mid-50s as soon as Wednesday, so a much milder trend that takes over the next few days and will make it feel quite pleasant around here, especially for the second week of February, running well above average. Notice there's no snow nor rain showers. Most of these weather events kind of miss us, so I think we're running pretty dry going into the next few days. But given that we've had above average in terms of the month of January and February rainfall, precipitation-wise, we're just fine. So we're not going to enter spring in a drought. And that's some good news even for the lawns and gardens, because I'm sure that some may want to start the planting a little bit early this year for the frost-hardened plants that typically go in the ground a little bit earlier. It's looking okay going through the next few days. Whoops, that was my camera. But I'm still here. The fuzzy fur ball walked by my camera, and he's full of static this morning because it's so dry.
Oh.
And so, yeah, that tends to pop the camera off. Oh, now he's getting a little drink of water. So
There you
there you
go.
go.
She's like, I ruined your shot, and now I'm just
now
gonna
I'm
drink.
thirsty.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We figured
it sounds like Roxy. She'll do the same.
That's so funny.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
Don Smith has another check of the roads and the rails this morning. Not too bad of a ride, Don.
Yeah, except if you're here in getting into New Brunswick at a Highland Park, ladies. Good morning to you. Good morning, Michael. Let's get you over towards our graphics here this morning. I want to show you this camera. I just wanted to restart it here because it takes times out. That's northbound 18 here at 27 into the New Brunswick area, all loaded up with construction just north of 27. So give yourself some additional travel time here this morning. Let's go back to our maps. As I promised you, a look of North Jersey. I think there is some road work here setting up on westbound 80 now as we get out towards just about Route 19. And as I say that, we can go to the cameras here and take a look at that and possibly seeing and hearing it first here on the New Jersey Morning Show. So we want to go here to 80 at Route 19. Let's dial that in. Let's see what we got. I don't see anything here. Let me step it back one camera to the east out by Madison Avenue and 58. So there's your westbound traffic that moves away. It looks a little slow, but I can't really decipher if there's anything happening here around the corner. Well, there is some barriers here along that shoulder. Well, it looks like they're taking out the right lane there. So that's what it is out by Madison Avenue. Everyone's squeezing over to the two left lanes. So that literally just setting up here as Mike was doing weather. So keep that in mind if you are going to travel here this morning. Let's say at a Lodi, Saddlebrook, and go west along 80 west of the Parkway. We widen it up, and we still have some delays here along 17 both ways in Rochelle Park. What else is new there? It never seems to move. And the Parkway a little bit busy as you get out through the Bloomfield area, 280 West Caldwell, West Orange, where you ladies are in the Fairfield, Essex County area. Looks pretty quiet along 46 and 80. The Turnpike, we're moving fine. So is the ride on the Parkway, Union County. Not a whole lot of action here on the Garden State Parkway. The Turnpike 19 through Linden, Elizabeth, and even over towards 24 by the mall at Short Hills. Let's give you the numbers at the Hudson River crossings. We're coming down here at the George on average about 20, 10 to 15 at the Lincoln, about 15 at the Holland Tunnel. Show you New Jersey Transit now. We still have some residual delays in that corridor up to about 10 to 15 from some police assistance there at Penn Station in the city to be mindful of. And we're looking at path here this morning, and hopefully we'll bring that up. But it's going to be the Hackensack River testing on the Newark to World Trade Line. Could tie things up here in about 20 minutes or so at the top of 10 o'clock. And then again, 1 to 2 for that mandatory bridge lifting. So keep that in mind. That's what's happening here in the traffic center. Cara, Kristina, we'll send it back into you.
All right, Don, thanks so much.
So this one's a little interesting, and you might not think about it, but catalytic converter thefts continue to be a hot button issue here in New Jersey, and state lawmakers are now taking notice. A new bill in the state assembly would increase the penalties for those caught stealing catalytic converters.
So typically second and third degree offenses have fines up to $150,000 and $15,000 respectively. So if this bill does pass, it will increase that. So again, the people will be jailed and then they will be fined as well.
So the bill has been referred to the Assembly Judiciary Committee for consideration. So
I have a feeling this is going to pass.
I have a
because
feeling it's
been
going to pass
long
too.
Issue here.
Yeah.
Well,
We hear about the car theft, but the catalytic converter thing is like a weird.
They've been stealing them off of school buses now. I mean, that's how crazy it's
And it's just for
gotten.
the scrap metal, right?
It's just for the metal because it's very pricey and you
Yeah.
can get a good, deal for it, I guess. But it's, school buses, really? Like, come on. It's crazy. This is an amazing story here. I say that all the time too. I got to change it up. St. Joseph's Health recently selected 3 individuals as recipients of the 8th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Service Awards for their impact on the African American community here in New Jersey. Now, one of them was entrepreneur Lunick Addison Boyd, who founded A Day at a Time. It's an organization that provides resources to inner city girls and other members of the community.
Every single summer, we have 14 young ladies that we send to summer camp at Rutgers University and Express Newark for free. And they learn the power of communication. They learn television and broadcasting. They learn how to interview. And the community just wrapped their arms around them. And because I have a background in media, I was able to just reach out to everybody and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I need your support.
Yeah, well, Addison Boyd also owns the God is Great apparel store at the Livingston Mall. You can catch her full interview on Your New Jersey this weekend. As she mentioned, she was a former reporter for Channel 9, I believe, for a long time. She also talks about her addictions, her addiction issues, and how she overcame. A very interesting backstory. And she's just been giving back to the community ever since. And so really inspiring. So check it out this weekend.
It's so funny. I was just having a conversation with somebody that I feel like at least you see the New Jersey celebrities give back to their communities more than anybody else.
100%.
Like, I don't see people going back to LA and be like, let me fund this school for you.
Right.
Like
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah and Shaq are in Newark all the time.
Totally. And, in Patterson too, former Giants player, Victor Cruz just opened a new school, helped open it was his alma mater. Now it's a new school that they built in the area. And it's like, you don't see that really so much everywhere else.
But Jersey folks are always back in Jersey giving back. And it's amazing.
It's great.
And her as well.
It's part of Jersey,
That's
right?
how we do. 3 Secaucus police officers are being recognized for their efforts in saving an unresponsive man on the side of the road. Lieutenant Christopher Rinaldi, police officer Mikhail Kolesser, I'm so sorry I got that name wrong, and police officer Casey Kelly responded to the incident on Monday night. The officers found the man on Seaview Drive and began CPR. They used a defibrillator to help resuscitate him. The victim was taken to a nearby hospital and is now in stable condition. And
amazing. This is what it's about.
That is what it is. That's what we want and what we love to see in our police officers.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the definition of protect and serve.
And now this guy's going to live because of them.
This guy's okay because of them.
Kudos
Quick
to them.
thinking.
Yes,
quick
for sure.
thinking. Absolutely.
This is a fun one. NJ Digest recently released their list of the 25 best restaurants here in New Jersey. How do you narrow it down? Here now to tell us more is their food and drink editor, Peter Candia. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I can't imagine being in your shoes though, having to narrow this down. What went into making this year's list?
Yeah, so it was actually pretty difficult. A lot of people say, it's like a dream job. You just get to go eat, which is true. But there's a lot of restaurants in New Jersey, and it was just me and my boss Michael, and we didn't do it together, so we did it separately. And so there was a lot of restaurants we had to hit. And you have to remember while you're eating there that you're not. I mean, you are there for enjoyment, but you're also there to take notes of how the service is and the food and the drinks that they have them. And so there's, never really like downtime while you're eating. You're taking pictures of everything, you're taking notes. But when we made this list, we wanted to basically make the best restaurants list in New Jersey. And so when we were putting together the list, we looked at some of the other ones that were floating around the internet, and we felt that maybe there was a little bit of nepotism or geographic preference, and we wanted to mitigate any chance of that when we released ours. So we thought really hard about it, and we knew that people were going to sort of say, well, we're biased towards North Jersey because we have more North Jersey picks than South Jersey. Mm-hmm. And that's not to say that North Jersey has the best restaurants in North Jersey and the best restaurants in South Jersey are really at an even field, but there's just more people that live up here. So there's naturally more restaurants in North Jersey and more good restaurants.
More space. How many places did you go to? I mean, how long did this take?
I mean, together if you combine both of our work, then we probably went to like, I mean, well over 50.
Yeah.
But we actually didn't even decide we were going to do this list until March of last year. So, and to be honest, we really didn't start like working on it like we really didn't start like grinding it until late, middle to late summer. And there was actually a point where I didn't think we were going to finish it. And we purposely, when we decided, because this was our first year doing it, so when we decided to do it, we gave ourselves a little wiggle room. We weren't sure if we were going to do 20 restaurants or 25 or 30. Eventually we settled on, we had about 35 that were in this pool that we were going to pick from. And we decided that 25 was the perfect number, and we picked from there.
So Pete, what was the criteria for the list? I mean, I like that you guys did the whole divide and conquer. But I mean, then how did you, what went into naming those 25?
So there's not a one size fits all approach to each restaurant, because every restaurant is so different. So when we started putting it together, we weren't sure if like putting a super casual restaurant on there was going to be like accepted by the public. But we decided that, if the service is good and the concept is good and the food is good, it doesn't matter if you can wear a hat in the dining room. It's if it's one of the best restaurants in the state, then it's one of the best restaurants in the state. So we have a big mix on there. We have a restaurant like Elements in Princeton, which is a really high-end tasting menu concept, no a la carte at all. You go in there, the menu's left completely up to the chef. There's no ordering, nothing like that. And then you have restaurants like SLA Thai in Upper Montclair, New Jersey, which is super casual. Yeah, one of my favorite restaurants. Shout out SLA Thai. But really, it's just that New Jersey has no shortage of good restaurants, and it's not a new thing. I used to work for a chef who would say that he wanted to break out that this idea that New Jersey was sort of the little brother to New York when it comes to food, and we just think that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, historically speaking, New Jersey is a state that is deeply connected with food. We're a state of immigrants, we're a state of working class, and this gives us great things. Like New Jersey has some of the best Chinese American takeout, has some of the best bagels. We have better pizza than New York, and we have high end restaurants and restaurants that are highly rated, and restaurants that, for me, when I was a young line cook, I thought that I had to go into New York. I had to go into Manhattan to eat at good restaurants. And now I rarely ever cross the river to eat at good restaurants, because we have such a high concentration of great restaurants here.
I have always said there is nothing that you can do in New York that you can't also do in New Jersey, better with parking.
It's just
I mean, when you look at Jersey City is quickly becoming one of the best food cities in the country. And that's not a hot take. That's just the truth. And it's becoming a destination spot. A lot of people are moving out of New York and into Jersey City. And it's because the city itself, they're creating a community for this. They're creating a walkable community with transit, and they're creating a community that is filled with great restaurants. So, it was hard for us, because we were thinking, wow, there's so many good places in Jersey City, but that's just the truth. And that's something that people have to accept.
So what's next? Is it top 50 maybe this year? Are you going to go bigger?
No. It will be top 25 again. And, if there's repeat restaurants on there from this year, which there definitely will be, it's because those are some of the best restaurants. I mean, even if you look at our list now, we have 3 chefs that made the list twice.
Wow.
And people might say that, we're trying to, please these chefs, but it's not true. I mean, you have Chef Scott Anderson of Elements in Princeton, as well as Mistral in Princeton. They're actually on top of each other. So Elements is the top floor tasting menu concept. Mistral is a little more casual a la carte. You have Chef Robbie Felice of Viaggio in Wayne and Osteria Crescendo in Westwood, New Jersey. They're just 2 of the best restaurants in the state. And then you have Ryan DiPersio, Fascino in Montclair, one of the first real restaurants in New Jersey to break into that contemporary dining scene back in the early 2000s. And then he's got Patello in Jersey City. That's much different. It's a giant restaurant. It's a banquet hall, and it's situated on the Hudson River.
Absolutely. And the DiPercios have owned restaurants in the state for decades.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, that's what they do. Pete, where can folks find the magazine?
Online, thedigestonline.com.
Excellent.
So much
Thank
fun.
you
Follow
so
our
much for
Instagram
joining
too,
us.
NJ Digest on Instagram. And if you want to follow me at Pete.Candy on Instagram.
Yay.
Amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. We could talk to you all day.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
I know he was speaking your language. I could
I literally-
see
I'm
it.
like-
I could see your body. You just be like, yes.
Tell
I've
me
been
more.
there. Yes. All right, let's hear more from Mike Favetta on the weather and the cold spell we're gonna hit this
Can we go
weekend.
back to talking about
Can I
those
go back to,
restaurants,
I was
please?
going to say, Mike and I could talk about food all day too. So
I'm
it's a wrap at this
I'm
point.
really glad that Pete mentioned Osteria Crescendo because
I gotta
I've
get
been
out
there
more.
many times. It is
Yeah.
so
I haven't gotten
great.
over there yet. I got to get over there. I
It's
know
so great.
Robbie, like as a friend of a friend, and I just
Yeah.
have not been able to get to either one.
Yeah. I just got to get out more.
Westwood in
That's all.
itself is a little gem. They've got the
Yes.
coolest places. My sister, a resident of Bergen County now, introduced me to another place, Stacks, where they put ice cream sandwiches made out of donuts.
I've heard of it. I haven't been, but I've heard of it.
All right, morning show road trip for food.
Wobble around Westwood and try all of the great eats, but maybe not Saturday because it's going to be really
man.
cold, or even Friday night because that's when the temperature really dives down to feeling like below zero. And that's where we start with our weather forecast. The 7-day gets very cold later on tomorrow night. For Friday night, going into Saturday, the temperature plunges down to an actual air temperature in the single digits, but it will feel like it's minus 20 to 0. So a big range there of all of the cold weather with that wind. The wind sticks around and it's still kicking on Saturday, so temperatures don't feel like they leave the teens. Actual numbers will climb into the 20s. We finally get back above the freezing mark for the first time in 2 days by Sunday, and it's actually a big jump. We soar into the 40s, make it into the 50s by Wednesday. And it's a dry period. It's also a pretty tranquil period with temperatures that will feel well more spring-like rather than February-like. Going into the middle of the month, next week we likely see temperatures that stay quite above average, and it's going to remain that way, I think, even going into the next few days with all of that clear air. So plenty of mild weather to come as we head into the next few days, especially I think by the end of the forecast period. Highs will be well above average with those temperatures that will feel very pleasant, even with highs that will see numbers that will be a little bit below, I think, the average high for the end of the year. All right, my camera's officially given up, but going into the next few days, I think enjoy the mild weather while it lasts because it gets very cold into next week, guys.
As Rocco's messing with your camera, or it's the cold.
Or
Who
it's the
knows?
cold.
Or the cold.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. Yes,
the cold.
frozen.
That's the one.
Frozen.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Thanks so much.
You bet.
Let's bring in
Literally
Don.
frozen.
Yes, literally frozen. Let it go. Don Smith is here now with a final look at the commute. Good morning, Don. I had to do
I
it.
am. Yes. Good. Happy Groundhog Day. Yeah. I like the idea of the road trip for the restaurants where I fire up the minivan and have the four of us with some cameras inside. I think that could make for some very entertaining television. Let's get you over towards our maps here this morning. Let me restart the camera here in Patterson. This is 80 going west. Out by Madison Avenue, you see the right lane is shut down. So looking at maybe about a 5-6 minute backup here. Just be mindful of it again. They just set it up within the last couple of moments, and it's just a short stretch, so I'm not sure what they're actually doing here. Maybe just getting into that location of the acceleration ramp in that location. We also have another area of contention to talk to you about. This is 18 now in New Brunswick, just north of Route 27. We're dealing with this road work here. You see all that northbound traffic coming to us at a crawl. That's going to add about another 10 plus 15 minutes if you're going north on 18, getting up into Rutgers. So again, give yourself some additional travel time. We widen up the map, and for the most part, we're in towards the midday hours now, and looks in fairly good shape across the board. Maybe a little delay here on 280 getting out to the Stickle Drawbridge, but when is that never a problem? Let's head up towards Northwest Jersey. You didn't want to leave our friends up here in Sussex County out of the mix. Out through Oak Ridge along 23 is good. Franklin, Hardiston, 94. Getting through Vernon, they're looking for the ability to even make any snow up there out towards the ski areas, I should say. Almost called it Vernon Valley Great Gorge and Action Park or Traction Park or whatever, but I think it's Mountain Creek now, I think is what it's called. So they're going to probably not really be able to make a whole lot of snow looking at that 7-day weather forecast. Here's the delay along 18 as we come up into just north of 27. That's really just jamming here, getting north of Route 1. I wouldn't be surprised if we get back to Route 1 here within the next half an hour. It's just something kind of out of the ordinary, not expecting. Rest of the state, we're solidly in the green all across the board. Only one other area that's still on the list as far as active is this Route 40 situation here as you go east of the Turnpike in Carneys Point, out by Pointers, Auburn Road. That is still closed with an investigation still ongoing. Hudson River crossings on average of about 15 minutes in transit. We're still looking about maybe about 10 minutes here on that one train out of Penn Station early this morning that had some police activity. That's what's happening here in the traffic center. Cara, Kristina, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Don.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Hey, you know the name Rick Allen, right?
Who
Yeah,
doesn't?
the drummer from Def Leppard. Hello. But did you also know that he's a painter? The rock star will be holding an art show at Atlantic City before his concert next Saturday at the Hard Rock Arena, where he'll display some of his amazing work. Allen said that he began painting as a way to bond with his youngest daughter.
I also realized that there was a very therapeutic value to painting also, just in the same way that music has been really healing for me as a musician.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best drummers of all time and also now an amazing artist. Visitors can see his artwork February 11th, again, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Gallery in Atlantic City. Just an awesome guy.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, our Chris Tsakonas is here with a look at what's going on in sports.
Thanks so much, Cara and Kristina. Well, it was a great night for college hoops in the Garden State as both Rutgers and Seton Hall took care of business last night. We will start over with the Pirates, who headed over to Queens and came back from a 13-point deficit to pull off the 84-72 road win at St. John's last night. Alamir Dawes led the way with 21 points in the win. Brooklyn native Kadari Richmond put up a strong double-double performance in his home city, 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists for him. While that was going on up in Queens, Rutgers took care of business down at Piscataway, running away with it in a 90-55 win over last place Minnesota. 6 Scarlet Knights finished in double figures. Cam Spencer led the pack with 17 points. A bit more of a struggle on the NBA side of things. The Nets fell 139-96 to the Boston Celtics. It was a tough game for the start for Brooklyn. Found themselves trailing by 30 points after the first quarter. They return home to play the Wizards on Saturday night. Knicks look to snap a 2-game skid tonight at 7:30 when they host the Miami Heat at Madison Square Garden. So that's what's going on in sports. If you're a college hoops fan in Jersey, kind of hard to have a bad morning after those two results, and certainly big for Seton Hall's tournament resume. Cara, Kristina, I'll send it back over to you.
Yeah, definitely exciting.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Hey, listen, also exciting, starting this Saturday, you can watch the New Jersey Morning Show on News 12 Plus. You can watch the show every Saturday at 9 a.m. Again, that's on News 12 Plus, or as always, streaming right here on NJ.com. That'll do it for us here this morning on the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.